Welcome to the yet another episode of oh God, what are we called? What are we called, Atharva? I keep forgetting
Fake
this all the
appeal,
time.
man.
Oh yeah, the fake appeal. Yes,
That
welcome
the thing
to
which you like to do from the slip
Mhm.
cordon. Hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm clicky ponting. I
Clicky
don't
one
fake
time.
appeal. Yeah. Right. So welcome to another episode of the fake appeal,
Hmm.
and this week we don't have anything very specific to talk, like unlike the other episodes. But this is like a generally exciting time to be a cricket fan. Like both Atharva and I are based in the US, and the schedule works really beautifully. Okay, the Australia Bangladesh game starts at 8:30 in the night and goes till 4. The India Sri Lanka game starts at midnight and goes till 7 in the morning. And then the England Pakistan game starts at 6 and then goes on till 2. So basically we have like cricket round the clock, and then there is like a 6 hours in the middle where we have to
Work.
put up with our own pain from life and so on.
Hmm.
But no, it's generally been exciting, and it would also have been boring if it were like the 2000s where all the boring people grew up. Basically teams playing for draws, and the best that New Zealand could do to outplay Australia was like basically go 0 all in the series, right? The Stephen Fleming cut series to Martin.
Hmm.
Right, but now it's also we are having results, which is a lot more exciting. West Indies beating Australia, Bangladesh beating Pakistan home and away, India being beaten in India twice and so on. And to add to this huge list, Bangladesh beating the frontline Australian team. Like it was not even like a rested or an experimental side after
Hmm.
getting 55 all out in the practice game. And I don't know. Wait, how many did they score? Do you remember? 140, 150 for 20.
Could be. I don't remember
Right.
exactly, but yeah.
Right in the second test. Like between those two, there was this test where they smashed Australia into the ground, right? I won't use the G word, but there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about it, Trevor?
Yeah. So the thing is that I watched that match, and nowhere in that entire match it looked like Australia was always chasing. Australia was behind their ball from the first session, like the first. And so I have this slightly different opinion now. As you told us that, like in that era from 2000 2015, when there was a batting friendly pitches were very docile. It was very hard to beat someone actually. Like it was like 5 day work you needed to like. If you remember that series of Australia versus Pakistan, which happened in Pakistan, which was like 15-day test match. Like first two test
Oh
matches
yeah,
draw,
right, right, right,
final
right, right.
day, they had to do reversing, they had to do so much, and they won on the final day. It was very hard to win. And I feel now this with this result-oriented era, like winning a test match, you don't need to play good on 5 days, actually. Like there could be a session where you can just get swept away, and after that you are just chasing. Okay, that could happen in those that era also, but it was very hard to happen. That's why there were no upsets as such. So it is exciting, but saying that Australia has been washed and all. So getting just reactionary reactions, right? Like if something
The
bad happens,
knee-jerk consumptions, right?
knee jerk manner, that doesn't make sense nowadays because I felt that the match would have been entirely different if Pat Cummins had chosen to bowl first or something like that. The toss was very important on that pitch. It just felt like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, right, like if on a flat wicket or
Mm.
pretty much in any wicket, right, like the way you manage to keep yourself in the game is by having a strong bowling unit. Like
Yeah.
even if you look at Zimbabwe's bowling unit now, which is certainly not one among the best in the world,
Hmm.
but I don't know if there is like a lot between Zimbabwe and England for that matter,
Hmm.
right? Or if you take out Bumrah from the India's like fast
India's
bowling
bowling attack.
arsenal,
Yeah.
like how different is yeah, I don't want to get into trouble by saying this,
Yeah.
but how different is Zimbabwe's bowling attack and India's if you take Bumrah out, right?
Yeah.
So in some sense, there is the sameness of bowling attack, not just in
Hmm.
terms of quality, and also in terms of like the bowlers that people have. Like everybody's a wobble ball bowler and so on,
Yeah.
right? So in the earlier flat pitch era, like you need like a really elite attack to be an attack that can keep you in the game all by itself. With a
Yeah.
weak batting, right? Like to produce magic, you need to be really really good.
Hmm.
But the stark difference is, there was Malcolm Marshall. Let me quickly look up what his strike rate was in Test cricket. Right, I think he would have averaged. Oh, sorry, he would have struck every
37, 38. I don't know.
42 balls. I think seven
42. Okay.
overs is the right.
Hmm.
Uh, Here we go. His strike rate was 46.
Oh, okay.
Right, and the average. balls per wicket in this era is 46.
46.
Right.
Everyone
So
is a
this is
Malcolm Marshall in a way. Well, the pitches.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, no, not everyone. I'm not going to tolerate this Bumrah blasphemy. Like he's better. That's what the
He's
numbers
just
say.
better. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
No, if the
hmm.
average bowler is taking wickets on that level, right, their ability to swing a test match just in one session becomes higher. Go for it.
Whatever is said, right? Like about, so at previous times, everyone knew if they just stayed on the crease, they can bat out 1.5 days. Like the first innings was always going to be 1.5 days, and if you don't play that well, let's say if you go out, like if you say only score like 350 or something like that, then it will be exciting. But if you score like 450, most likely other team is also going to score 400, and then if you want to get some spice out of it, you need to do something else. But now, because of this whole like batting pandemic, which is just too hard to bat. And sometimes a one session can literally change everything. Like I don't have numbers with me right now, but I do
Hmm.
feel like last 3-4 years there have been test matches where just a one session has been so significant that you aren't not able to do like outclass like whatever that team did in one session. Like if you remember that match against India and New Zealand in Bangalore, where the
Right.
like
The
pitch
42
was
all out
wet
and you
for the
score
first,
600
yeah,
and yeah.
and still you lose. Like you, there is no way to come back from it. Or
That is
like
true.
so,
Or the
these are the
India South
problems.
Africa game in Kolkata, right? I think the only reason India lost the Kolkata test is because they
Mhm.
did not use a heavy roller on the last morning
Mhm.
of the test match. Had
Yeah,
they used the heavy roller, they would have gotten 20 minutes of good batting, and 20 minutes would have been like 5, 6
yeah.
more runs. Like,
Like
that's much closer.
that match also I remember India New Zealand where hey Phillips comes and hits like 3 or 4 sixes of Ashwin, and that
Hmm.
24-30 runs when India is chasing 120 or 140 in the final innings.
Hmm.
So like these batters are very important. That's why again I'll go to back to baseball, because why baseball works in this era and it won't work in the previous era, because
Right.
everyone can just outbat you. Now these smaller differences matter a lot. So that's why I feel
Right.
we should look at test results at a very holistic way. Now it's
True.
not the era where
I mean,
you
it's a
have to say that.
confluence of a lot of things, right? Like the
Mm,
WTC has made test matches a lot more exciting.
yeah.
The simple reason is because they have given better context to test matches.
Hmm.
Right? Like you want to win every single test so that you qualify, unless you're England, in which case you don't care.
You don't get.
Uh, right. But beyond that, also, like because now teams want to win, that is
Hmm.
one reason why teams spike their home conditions.
Yeah.
Um, right. Like South Africa has have really gone that way. I don't know what's happening with India these days. Like, what do you think? But they have been going up and down with their
They're up
tracks.
and down. And they're so erratic right now. I don't think there is any signal there. It's just
Yeah.
noise for now.
Right. And England have been spiking pitches the other way, like
Yeah.
like going really flat and so on. But in some sense, England are doing that from the point of winning. They're not playing
Hmm.
flat pitches from the point of, oh, let's make sure we don't lose, which is
Lose.
exactly what England would have done like 10 years back,
Hmm.
had they had the option. Right. So there is
So,
that. And if
hmm.
you look at Australian pitches, I think they are really experimenting with hybrid pitches.
So, like in Australia, last 7 test matches, three of them have finished. So that tells you something about it, right? Okay, would have been like one sit tip where, like, let's say England batted badly. Anything can happen, but still, yeah, under two
It's
days. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And the worst thing is that, so again, now there is whole issue is happening with Australian board and cricket team and the ground, because Australia money model is very different than India. India earns money by television rights, Australia earns by the
Hmm.
people coming to the ground,
Many
and
people going
there
on the
are
ground. Yeah.
other economic things are also going to happen there. But I feel it's very exciting. But now the knee-jerk reactions need to stop. Like obviously India losing 3-0 is bad. Like okay, you can't lose three test matches, but one test match can happen. It
Right.
just can happen.
No, but think of it this way, right?
Hmm.
Like the it's not like the same reason why all these wickets keep behaving weirdly. Like the
Hmm.
reason why the pitch behaves weirdly in Perth is because like Australia has been like, look, on the first day teams score 600 runs,
Hmm.
and then from the second day onwards teams can't score 6 runs.
Hmm.
So we need like the pitch to like actually balance out across days so that we get better cricket.
Yeah.
So they give like slightly underprepared wickets, which means like both teams are going to get shot out for 150.
Yeah.
Right. So that is them trying to actually give better wickets and not working.
Yeah.
Sydney, it's like it's not underprepared wickets. It's more like, they are actually spiking up wickets, but if you don't spike up wickets, teams are going to score 500 runs in Sydney. So they
Yeah.
are
It's a
trying to
slow
bring
race
it down to
pitch. Hmm.
300, which is
Yeah.
not working.
That's been
Like,
great. People do try. Again, like the test match which ended in like 2 days, I felt the pitch was fine. Like in
hmm,
my opinion, like again, I didn't see any vicious swing or any vicious bounce or like ball just shooting. Nothing like that happened. Like few unlucky wickets in again in Australia, and I felt Bangladesh was just. I think they
Yeah,
were
no,
very
I
high
was
on emotion. It was just done. Like first impression match they won, and it was just Mitchell Stark just came and then
no,
yeah.
I mean, see,
Hmm.
Bangladesh are good enough to get a test match from Australia, right? Like, their bowling can do that.
Yeah.
But you can't be consistent with your bowling. You need like
Yeah.
batting up on the same level
Right on
if
the
you want to
same.
be consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about bad luck, on this wickets and like on this pitch and many people falling to bad luck. What do you think of the Labuschagne wicket, man? Like when the ball hit his thigh pad and it basically
Yeah.
rolled on his thighs before hitting on the
Yeah.
stumps.
So again, I hated his first inning in first test. I felt he
Mm,
was being a old Labuschagne. So the problem is that see, Labuschagne was getting outside of like that. He was edging a lot. He was edging
mm,
a lot. So there are two ways, right? You can't get out on both sides of your bat. You can only prepare for one. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take a middle stump guard such that I'll know where my off stump is clearly, because if it's in my like eye line, I can leave whatever is outside. But because of that, once you take a middle stump guard, okay, you just only have to worry about your leg before you get, and he was good at it. But you cut down your on your cut shot. You can't cut the ball because you are very close to the ball. If you try to cut it, you will just drag on. So what he was doing was working for him to play like 60, 70 balls. But the moment he starts scoring runs again, he was getting caught again. So his methodology was not helping him. And the first innings, I felt he was like similar to that. So that's why he played 20 balls, scored 1 run, and got out. But in the second inning, he looked very proactive. And in the third, like in the second test match, first innings, he was unlucky. So I'll say Labuschagne, last two innings, they gave me hope. Like that's my overall thing. But the first inning looked like the old Labuschagne where he was getting stuck. And because of his technique, he doesn't have scoring options. Only
and
scoring option is that flick shot or the back on the hip or something like that.
so do you see an element of Steve Smith in it? Like, start the innings where you just say, okay, look, for the first part of the innings, anything outside
Hmm.
the off stump, I'm not even going
Hmm.
to give myself an option. Let me
Hmm.
take the risk. I know the bowler can set me up. The bowlers are good enough, but
Yeah.
let me take the risk. Let me grind it through. And
Hmm.
once I'm set, maybe like I go closer and closer to the leg stump, like start take
Hmm.
a leg stump stance, and then give myself the cut option, like the more Australian shots that you can play.
Yeah. So it can happen, but again, Steve Smith is extraordinary. Like there is something in him, like the way he manages his LWW dismissals is one of the best. I feel like he can always take his impact outside of. I think that is one of the things which people can't like don't talk about. Like okay, he does middle the balls on the leg stump. Like if you ball on his leg, he will connect you. But whenever he misses, he will always like find a way so that miss that ball on the outside the off stump. Like that
Right,
always
him
happens.
and Joe Root was doing that, right? Like he
Hmm.
also found a way to every time he misses, his impact would be out down the leg side.
Down the leg side or something like that, and which is very hard to do. Like it's very hard to just like what can I say replicate that technique. So
Mhm.
I feel so Labuschage's case is that it does happen. Like first 40, 50 ball, he does grind them out. But the moment he starts attacking and moment he starts to flush the like try to fish those ball outside off, he gets out. Because again, we
Yeah,
are
gets
comparing
caught at
him with
Cully
someone.
consistently. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? So and we are talking about someone like Steve Smith who has extraordinary hand-eye coordination. So
Right, but to be fair, right,
hmm,
like Labuschagne was on track. Like he was averaging 60 at one point before
yeah.
he stopped averaging 60.
But there is this study, right, where if you think that okay, if he doesn't get lucky, like he gets
Hmm.
out on those catches, he averages 40,
That
and
was
that's what
exactly
he's what's
44.
happening
Yeah,
now.
right. Right. I mean, I
But
would still
right
take
now,
it.
but last 2 years he's averaging like 20 or 25. I think he's like that
26. Yeah,
Kohli
yeah, yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah. Right.
So, hmm,
No, the last one, it actually pained me, right? Like in the sense, like you can just see the disbelief in his play, the pain in the space when he was getting out.
yeah,
And I think it was also like the fact you were saying, like in the last test, he had a plan. Like there was something
yeah,
about the way he was batting,
and he must have
which
full
was
tossed.
giving.
Huh.
Right. Right. And then this time when like clearly the rope is running out, and then now if it is the time you are getting unlucky and then your rope runs out because you're unlucky, that
Hmm.
that feels a little bit more
So,
painful.
but in this, I really like the Andrew McDonald and like Cummins partnership. I think they trust their players more than any management right now. Like I think if Gautam Gambhir needs to learn from that, so like they will stick with him. Again, it can go either way. It can be he could be absolute
Right.
failure in
Okay.
South
But let
Africa.
me to
Huh.
play the devil's advocate. Like I do think Cummins and McDonald's are like McDonald's. Wait,
Andrew
Mac
McDonald.
Andrew McDonald, right?
Yes, I
Like they
know
are
what you
good
ate for
man.
our lunch. Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Right. Okay. But anyways, I know that they are great man managers. But
Hmm.
in this case, if they want to move on from Labuschagne,
Hmm.
do they have an option?
So the thing is that from last 1 year, one guy is trying to get in, which is Max Sweeney. And again, he got Bumrah. There was this word, I don't know, I can't pronounce it, but he got like Jason Bumrah was there and he was not able to do
I
anything
mean,
in
see,
that BJT
basketball is in
series.
the Webster dictionary. I think we can add Bumrah as well.
Yeah, he got Bumrah. So yeah, that's what happened with him, and he got unlucky, and he had to open where his natural spot is number 3. And people
Hmm.
think that and some saw like some Australian media I listen to, they think that he could be like after 3 can move on to 4. So he's more of 3.5 than
Right, right.
that 1.5 which people talk about. So Maxini is the guy, I think, and he is at the right age. They look at him as a captaincy option also. So whenever Australia travels or whenever like there is some President's 11 matches, he always captains the side. So he could be the option. But this is a very weird time now. Like they had the chance to blood him in the Bangladesh series, but now they are going to South Africa. I don't think you
Right.
can
I mean, that will be the
debut
most
someone.
cruel start you can give to someone,
Yeah,
right?
once
Like throw him
against
against
Bumrah and
Bumrah in and then like
then
throw
Rabada.
into the. No, it's not even Rabada. Like just look at the pitches,
Yeah,
right? Like balls, like full balls hit you in the head,
yeah.
right? And then
Anything
there is
else?
Rabada and then Marco Jansen. Like no, that's like extremely cruel to do. The good thing is like Australia coming back to Matt Renshaw, right? In some sense, he's the Prithvi Shaw of Australia, as the surname
Kind of.
also very correctly suggests.
Yeah.
Um, right? Like he was supposed to be this teenage talent, and
Hmm.
he was really good at getting twos. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
right. And then like sure, it did not work out, and then he had to be out of the team, and he
Hmm.
got really good against playing spin. And then
Yeah.
finally, the team needs somebody, and then they went back to him,
Yeah.
which generally does not happen, right? Like in the sense of there is a clear lack of obvious names that people are trying to get. Oh, we forgot Cooper Conley. We should probably talk about him too.
Yeah.
But these are not like obvious names that are like ready to walk into Test cricket. That is there. But you can still play Cooper Conley and then say, okay, look, you are our future. We are going to give this slot to you, or you can give it
Hmm.
to Nathan McSweeney. The fact that they went back to Matt Renshaw, he has a nice mustache. No, maybe that's why he got the slot.
But there is something about the Australian cricket, right? Like let's say when that sandpaper gate thing happened, they
Mm-hmm.
went back to your Payne,
Uzi.
or they went
Hmm.
back to Uzi, Sean Mars. Sean Mars is so like Sean Mars was always like in out from 2006. But
Hmm.
like they do give you chance. It's not like you have again they had less number of players. It's not like India where your talent coming in. So even if you are above 30, they do give you chance. And I feel like the kind of batting he's doing in the Sheffield Shield and like he was very good last season, and everyone felt that he should debut. But I think Weatherall had like 2 seasons worth of good batting, and he had only 1 season. So naturally they went to Weatherall. But we knew that he had like very like short rope. So now it will be good to look at. But again, Matt Renshaw is the middle order batter now, more of a middle order batter than an opener.
Hmm.
So again, everyone is batting out of position, but this Australian management has this philosophy that okay, we are going to pick 7 best batters and we'll
Hmm.
figure out the batting order afterwards. I don't know. So we don't know how
Right.
good is this philosophy versus picking specialist, but yeah, we have to see.
The other thing I was thinking about is I don't know how long a rope Labuschagne has, and right,
Hmm.
and if they eventually run out, I don't know when you replace him. If you do that, right, whom do you think should replace Labuschagne? Should it be one of McSweeney, Conley, or should it be Hanscom, or should it be Inglis?
So so again, for me, I'll go to McSweeney or Conley again at if you want to bat at number 3. But again, if you are only solely thinking about batting in India, then I don't
Mhm.
have a problem with English also because English is also phenomenal batter of spin. You are
Hmm.
only going to think about those 5 tests. I won't go back to Handscomb because I feel
Right, I don't like that
let's
idea as
not
well, right?
increase the
Like in the
problems,
sense
right? There
of
are
no, you don't have to like in the sense of you can give Cooper Conley a slot, right? Like if Australia is going to play a lot of tests in Australia and in the ASEAN nations,
hmm,
right? So if you can play one of these two in South Africa,
yeah,
but you don't have to play English or Hanscom like one of the spin specialists in South Africa. You can just tell them, look, we are here for these five tests in India,
yeah,
and then like not go back to them ever again. Like also maybe in the next BGT, next time you go to South Africa, sorry, Sri Lanka or somewhere, that slot
hmm,
becomes Conley's or whoever's. But
yeah.
just for these fighters, you tell like, okay, this is your fighters. Like you get this position.
Hmm. Like so, yeah, they have done that right previously. They used to have like Handscomb as Sri Lanka or India specialist, but I
He's on
think
the squad. They never play him.
they never play him, yeah. So now I don't know, like I won't go back to him. I feel there are two guys, English and Conley, who Conley can bowl good enough spin. I feel like he can be or like option.
I think they might end up playing Conley at 8 though. Like actually
They
use him as a
could.
spinner.
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, that could also be possible. I have one more idea actually, which everyone talks about this, right? Your best batter should bat at 3. Like, what
Mhm.
if you move Steve Smith to 3, and you have
Oh,
like 4, 5, 6, something like that, where you can create a slot at 5 or 6 for someone to blood in, like someone like Conley or English, something like that.
right. I'm
But
a little bit worried. Like in the sense of, I think at some point Travis Head should go back to 5. Okay, then it
yeah,
causes other problems. Cameron Green is finally looks, he's looking like he can score some runs.
yeah,
Like both wickets were like not easy to score. Like the first one
hmm,
was actually hard, the second one was not easy. Like it was not as
hmm,
hard as the Bangladesh batters made it look like probably, but but he did well in both
yeah,
these tests. So finally he's scoring at 5. So if Head goes back to 5, then who's your other opener? But Head is your best batter. Maybe Head gets his best position.
yeah.
Right? All these confusing thing happens.
So again, right, like head. I feel head opening in South Africa, it can go either way. Like, it could be he could just smash them out of the match, like just
Right.
go and play his game, or it could be very bad series where
The
like
first
4
morning he just
innings,
nicks off or chops on.
yeah,
Yeah.
every time he nicks off. So that could also happen. So it's a big risk to take with your best batter. So,
Right. And
but
if you're
again,
also moving
changing,
Steve Smith to 3.
yeah, you will most likely,
uh,
if your head goes to 5, it's most likely Stu Smith to 3, Labuschagne to open, Cam Green to like 4, and then head is 5. It will be something like that. It will be very hard to do all those things. Because
No.
other than that, hmm,
Right. So maybe the other gambit is, I don't know, like do whatever you want with the other, but send somebody in like Bo Webster at 3. And then use him like the Smith delay role. Like ask him to bat as many balls as he can. If he
hmm.
averages 30, good enough. Like we don't expect him to average
If he
35 to
averages 30,
40.
it's great. I don't think he averages 30 at his original position.
Right, really? I thought he would have averaged 35, no?
I don't, I don't
Okay,
know.
let's
Check.
let's look it
I
up.
don't think so. Oh, guys, here we do research on the fly.
Right. No, but even with so basically sacrifice one batter at 3.
Yeah,
You can be like brutal and then go Pat Cummins at 3. No, I think that will
that will be
get
too
that
much.
man.
But
Right?
yeah, that
Or
can,
no,
like, I
it
still
feels
believe in that.
like Australia right now in tests and England in T20s have the same problem. Everybody wants the same position. Like Australia, everybody is like, we don't care about the top 3. Or batting begins at 4. And
Yeah.
England are like, as soon as 3 wickets fall, like nobody knows how to finish the innings. Really worried. Talking about number threes, right? Like I
Hmm.
think every team is having their own number 3 problems in one way or the
Yeah.
other. Right? Like if you look at India, Sai Sudarshan is their frontline number 3.
Hmm.
And the one guy who's making like ton of runs now is Devdutt Padikkal, who just replaced Sai Sudarshan.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Again, like, I don't know how much you have to treat this scenario as like how fair it is on someone like let's say Sai Sudarshan. But
Mhm.
I do feel like you just continue with the particular, because you can't drop a guy who scored like 2 centuries back to back, and now after this you are going to play against Australia at home. So it's not like,
Mm.
and Sai Sudarshan only played in
England.
England. Very well, it's fine, but again, it Sai Sudarshan had this issue. I feel that where he edges a lot down the leg, also he edges. So there are few weaknesses. Now with
Mhm.
Devdutt, he got easier conditions to bat. He's a phenomenal player of spin, and again, we have to consider that India got the easiest condition to bat on for a first
The
inning
Sri
in
Lankan side.
both,
Right.
both the test. Both the test. In the third innings, they had slightly harder conditions to bat, and we saw what happened. Like, they were all out very early. So
Mm.
I'll still say that you stick with like this guy, because now he has scored 2 centuries. You have to like there is
Right.
no other way.
No, generally the way this works is, you have this graduate batter position at number 6.
Hmm.
So if your number 3 goes out, right, it's Rahul Dravid who's going out. And if
Yeah.
somebody has like one great innings, like, well, Rahul Dravid comes back, like you don't drop Rahul Dravid for, like a
Huh.
newcomer. So
Yeah.
there, in some sense, there was like the graduate batter position, and therefore the number 3 is the harder position. So this, like plugging and playing was much easier.
Hmm.
Right, but now all of a sudden it feels like the most important position in Test cricket is also held by the weakest batter in the lineup.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if somebody has like a streak of 1 or 2 innings at number 3, that
Hmm.
automatically catapults them to have a stronger track record than the weakest batter in the lineup. So it
Yeah.
becomes like a thing of have like a 1 or 2 kind of situation, right? Like if you're just
Hmm.
I don't mean this in a demeaning way on David Padikkal, right? Like it's a matter of skill. But if you just
Hmm.
get lucky and then score your century in your first innings as opposed to your 6th innings and then have a streak of 4 bad innings,
Yeah.
right? That is very difficult from failing in the first four and then scoring like your century in the sixth, because people are much more optimistic, like right at the start. And it's not even like you don't even need to have a streak of centuries at the start followed by failures or vice versa. Even one century at the start and then failures would really change how people think about you.
Yeah. And like also, right, the other part which you can look like the number 6 position, right, which is occupied by Drew Jurel Knight. So if you want to do something like that,
Number
okay.
7, right? Yeah. That is
Okay,
a match at
that's
6.
That is a better six. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
other way around. Okay. So if you want, like, let's say side position comes back in at 3 and you get Drew Jarrell or and you put Padikkal there.
Particular.
But number 6, 7 positions are something entirely different now. You need a guy who is kind of a hitter, like who can score faster. Like it has its own way now. Like it's not like it hasn't been a position where, let's say, Ricky Ponting, you blood in Ricky Ponting or Michael Clark, and then they
Right.
go higher up on the bottom. Now number 6 and number 7 is a
I
specialized
think
position.
number 5 and number 6, I can see what you mean there, right? Like in the sense of that is when you come in around the 35th over.
Yeah.
So you have quite a while until the next new ball. So you are supposed to play with the older ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the point is like, look, there is a short period of time before the ball gets soft with the wobble ball, before the next ball comes. We really want to maximize the scoring period, right? With number 7, I don't know, maybe there could be a scope, right? Like that is the batter who's supposed to face the second new ball.
Yeah.
This is generally a wicket keeper, so it's fine. But now if Pant is batting at 5, so you can actually use another batter, maybe even ask him to play like an opener in some sense against the second new ball. So maybe there is a scope for number
But
7 to be that batter. 6, I don't
again,
know.
there is one more problem. 5 Pant, 6 Jadeja, 7 Padikkal. Do you see the pattern in this? All three are left-handers. So which is again very hard. With this management, I don't think they will do this. They like their left-right combination.
Right, but on
And
the
there
other
is
hand,
some
right, like is big of an issue. Okay, fair. They are going to face Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy. Okay,
most likely.
to
So like
be fair, England are also having like a similar-ish problem, right? Like Bethel went out, Cox came in, and then he scored. At least for Bethel, he has the wait. Where did he score the 100? Sydney.
in final test match, I don't remember where it was. Could be in Sydney.
Right,
That's the best
right.
batting deck.
Right. Like he won the test match for them, did he? Right?
Yeah.
Test paper, right? So he has that in his bank at least for the next couple games to go.
Yeah.
So at least he won't be dropped. So now the next question becomes, okay, Bethel's going to come back. Cox scored at 3. Lawrence has been scoring a lot of runs, but I'm not sure people will really miss Lawrence if he's dropped, right? You can get some off-spin overs from him, but that's not the reason why he's in the team.
Yeah.
So who bats at 6?
So for me, I'll go with Bethel at 6 because again, as we know, like there is a chance to like I think England looks Bethel as a future captain, their like next talent which will bat for like 12, 15 years. And again, if you want to blood in the talent, it is a high time to bat him at 6. Because again, you are going to, in a way, Cox and Bethel, both of them are lower order batters. Lower order or 4-5 number of batters. Number 4 or 5. But Cox is a fairly old guy. I think he's around 30.
25.
He's 25.
He's actually quite young, yeah.
But he's playing from last 4 or 5 years, as I remember. I'm looking at him from last. Wow.
I played with Cox in Cricket 23.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a teenager.
I did not mean that, okay.
It came out very wrong. Okay. Wow, it came
sorry.
out.
He's not 24. He's third. No, wait.
He should be older, man.
No. There is a tennis player called Jordan Cox, apparently.
What are you doing?
Yeah. But I do understand the difference you are saying, right? In the sense, people are looking at Jacob Bethel and then going like, okay, look, Harry Brook, Jacob Bethel, Jamie Smith. Like he can be like the trio that forms the batting order there.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are looking at Jordan Cox and are thinking about him on the same level as these three. In the sense, he can be, somebody who's consistently playing for England. But I don't know if he's a superstar. Okay, who's a good example of that? I think Australia should have a bunch of people of that kind, right? Like Usman Khawaja, could be a good example, right? Be somebody who can be around, who you can ask to like solve a problem. If you need somebody to bat at 5, at 6, like you can always use him and so on.
Like the Moeen Ali thing, right? The way England used Moeen Ali. Again, Jordan Cox is much more better batter than Moeen Ali, obviously. And but still, if in the end someone has to do it. Like I don't think anyone wants to bat at number 3. Someone has to do it, and put Cox there than Bethel.
Right.
And yeah,
Right. So
that's
in the
the whole
sense
point in
of
that.
you can, I don't know, it's a little cruel to say, you can sacrifice a 25-year-old, but that's kind of where it has come down to. Like
Hmm.
you have to choose between Bethel and Cox.
But again, the only thing is that he's still lucky to bat in England, where pitches are much more flatter than like batting in, let's say,
Imagine saying that 10 years back.
yeah, even saying that in respect, but yeah, whatever. Like he's still lucky to do that. And again, there is this argument, right? Like, and which Ricky Ponting says that okay, Joe Root, Steve Smith should bat at number 3, and they should, but that is not going to happen. I don't
Right. I
think
mean,
Joe
that
Root is
causes
going to
like a
hit number
lot
3.
of uncertainty. Like all of a sudden, you're pushing Root up one, you're pushing Brook up one. Like you're pushing your entire batting order
Hmm.
up one. Like changing one
Yeah.
position. If you're asking, I don't know, Root to bat at 3 and giving Bethel 4,
Hmm.
maybe I would consider that. But now
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know if
true.
it makes sense to give Bethel 4. Like you have to push Root up as well.
Hmm. So that's it. And with Brook, the number 5 you can't touch them because it's
Hmm.
very important now. Those 20 overs which you get of
Heavy
soft balls,
metals. Right.
heavy metals, you need to score like, and the kind of batter Brook is, he anyway he scores with a strike rate of 80 and 90. Like, but yeah, you need to maximize the guy. So like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about England, maybe we'll talk about Pakistan and then finish. Right. I think
I
we
think we
should
should
talk
finish that.
about. Yeah.
because, because
No
it's just
comments. Simply waste.
sad, right? Like for example, whenever I look at Pakistan, let's say sometimes, let's say I'm watching a match of PSL. Every team has a guy who can bowl 140 plus. I'm not
Hmm.
saying you need a guy to bowl a 140 plus, but you're Pakistan. And you can't play a test match where you have 3 guys who struggle to bowl at 130. And again, if you want a metronomic bowler, what do you expect from them? To pitch the ball in that shoe box, right? Which people call like there is a box and
Right.
you do pitch. And that they're not doing that also. So it is
No,
very
that's the
sad
weird
to see.
part, right? Like
Hmm.
forget Mohammad Abbas. He's like he's been the best county bowler for like quite a while now, and I don't know. He's like on the same. Okay, I don't know if on the same tier, but he's there and thereabouts. If you're talking about Hazelwood and Boland kind of thing.
Yeah, but
He's
they
slightly easier, but you know what I mean. Like in the sense, his
yeah.
ability to just pitch the ball there, every single ball is like
Hmm.
really good. He's like elite. Like I don't have any problem with that. The other two are trying to be him, which
Hmm.
I think most teams would also take, like, except for Australia or maybe Australia also. Like, if you look
Hmm.
at Pat Cummins, Hazelwood, and what Stark has become, like,
Hmm.
he is kind of like more Cumminsy now than
Then
Starkey
whatever,
from,
huh?
right? So, like, any team would kill for like that kind of an attack, except the other two bowlers who are supposed to keep pitching on the stumps.
Hmm.
Like, you'll have to keep moving the stumps every ball if you want the ball to hit the stumps, right?
Yeah, with them. Like so again, Stark is more like Cummins, but Stark is still Stark. Like yesterday when we saw, there were still those out swinging
But he was
Yorkers
bowling
against.
133.
But still, like he was bowling full. He was
Hmm.
not like Cummins doesn't hit stumps at all, but he hit a
Hmm.
stump yesterday. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is that you again you don't need magic ball bowlers. I'm not saying you always need a Shaheen or someone like that. But you do need a bowler. Let's say if I know that okay, I have 3 bowlers who are going to bowl at 130, who are going to be metronomic, I expect a run rate to be around 2.5 or 3.
Hmm.
That's the whole point. They were not doing that. Like they were, and again, one more point problem I have with Pakistani bowling attack is that they only played one spinner. So I'll assume that is the best spinner they have in the country, right?
Can he bat? I don't think so, right? He batted at 8, I
Yeah,
suppose.
and I remember there was a 7 over period where he was getting hit for a boundary all like in every over for
Hmm.
7 overs straight, and he got 6 wickets in that inning. But he got those wickets because others were not taking any wicket. So someone had to take wickets, and he just got them. So and there was a period where he bowled better. So again, the spinner is also a problem, right? Where your spinner is not able to pitch the ball at the same length and all. So I
Right.
don't know. And
Why they
about
dropped nominally? I thought he would be a better fit. Right? Like, and actually, he's like a 7.5. He's not 7, but he's better than an 8. So he can
yeah.
bat, and then he can bowl that defensive spin if you want. Or I think I think what might have happened is, same way England did the research before going to Ashes. They were like, what kind of bowlers do you need in Australia? You need hit the deck big bowlers. So they took Atkins and
Okay,
Tongue.
then tell me what kind of bowlers you need in England for a spinner? You
Shoaib
don't need
Bashir.
a spinner. Wow.
No, no, look at
England
Shoaib
has
Bashir. Okay, this is the kind of spinner that basketball thinks works. So we'll match them.
like I don't know. Like and again, the batting was very sad to look at. Again,
Hmm.
I don't know what Mohammad Rizwan does, but he doesn't need to take a single on the first ball when he's batting with number 9. There is no need to do that. Someone needs to tell him that he can bat for 4 balls and then try to get a single or something like that.
Right.
So
No,
it
this
is
was
just
kind of
sad, right?
sad about Rizwan. There was this one ball where he was so busy appealing for an LBW that he forgot that
Yeah,
there was
there is
an
a
edge
run
and he
out.
would have
You can, yeah,
no,
I
no, it wasn't a
remember.
run out. Like he would have taken a catch of an LBW appeal.
Oh, that has also happened. And there
Yeah,
is
so
one more where he was appealing and then
yeah,
like
the
they could have
slipper
run.
hit him
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
but yeah, he
No,
doesn't have
those were
eyes at the back,
hilarious.
so yeah. Hey, that's the thing, right? It's a meme fest. Again, I don't know, like just 10 years back when Misbah and like Yunis Khan did those push-ups at Lords, and they were so good, that team.
Hmm.
And now after 10 years, what we see from that team. So yeah, it's kind of sad. And I don't have any hopes from like unless and until Abbas just runs through England in one session.
Right.
These
No,
things
but
can
the
happen in the
other fact is you don't know what you're getting from England. Yeah.
again, I'll say England. I don't know England are good or not. Whatever I saw, it just because it was such a bad bowling attack that you can't say England batted well. Like Harry Brook did Harry Brook things, and it was
Hmm.
Pakistan, so he scored 200 runs less because he had to score 300. He didn't do that, and so like yeah, England because England were not trying to hit, and they were still scoring at 5 runs per over, more than the best ball rate when they're not trying to hit. So it was,
Right.
I
No,
can't say
that
anything.
is a little bit like if you got to at least like stall the runs if you're trying to bowl defensively, or if you're
Yeah.
like if they're like going to take you on, like if you put four fielders on the boundary like against a hook shot, then you're
Hmm.
forcing them to take risks. Like if you're giving away a half tracker every over, which you can
Hmm.
put out like any side of the ground you want risklessly,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of like the like what's the like what are you playing for? Like how are you trying to
Hmm.
get back any control of the game?
Yeah.
But
But that's the problem with this. Like, I really don't know where the Pakistan team is heading. But there is one more funny part here, right? You can't really rank team now. Now, it's very hard to rank teams because
right, so
anyone
you
can beat
kind of have
anyone
two
in a way.
tiers,
Huh.
but even between the tiers, it's hard, right? Like for instance, we know Australia, South Africa, and I don't know,
New Zealand.
maybe Australia and South Africa are like half
They
a
are
tier
better.
above,
Hmm.
and then comes India and New Zealand, who are not like far apart. So think of it as like tier one and tier 1.25.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then comes the next tier, which I really don't know how to separate between. Like there is England. Yeah, maybe England is tier two, so we have 1.5,
Yeah.
2. And then there is like Bangladesh alongside West Indies. Sri Lanka is
Pakistan.
not far up, right?
Yeah.
Pakistan is slightly
Pakistan is
towards
only
the
lower
West
than
Indies
that.
end
Yeah.
of it,
Huh.
while Bangladesh and who are the other team? Sri Lanka are like on
Sri
the
Lanka.
higher end of it, right? And then
Yeah.
and the West Indies is in the middle.
But
So
still,
between
like,
this,
it's
so
quite
yeah,
exciting for a test cricket because everyone has a better bowling attack. Like, it was very sad from 2000 to 2015, where you look at the bowling attack and you're like, how are they going to take 20 wickets? And now it's always about batting attack. How are they going to bat 80 overs? So
right.
you will always getting those wickets. Like West Indies has one of the best seam bowling attack, I feel, after like last so many years.
No, something I remember in 11th grade, right? My friend was complaining about, however, whenever India plays Bangladesh, you know what the result is going to be in
Hmm.
T20s, not in
Yeah.
tests, in T20s, right?
Yeah.
And maybe what he said is more true now. When India plays
Hmm.
Bangladesh in T20s, you know what's going to
You know
happen,
what the
but you
result
don't
is.
know what's going to happen in Test cricket.
In test cricket, yeah, anything can happen. So it is fun, but sometimes it just there is some issue with it. Like test cricket has should be something where you outplay someone, but that doesn't. It's not about a test match now. It's about the whole series and all. So we need to look into more into it because you can't just
I
make
don't
this
know.
be
I
just
mean,
games.
I think the reason why we put those, run those 22 athletes into the ground is so that we get pleasure watching them do so. I don't care about, the spirit of what Test cricket is supposed to be, the purity of the
Huh.
game. Let that go to the dogs while we get really entertained with such, very philosophically deep ideas. I think we'll conclude our episode of, oh, what I forgot the name again, of Fake Appeal.
Fake appeal.
Uh, right, I
Mm.
hope the appeal was not fake though, like the appeal of this episode.
Was quite
So
genuine.
yeah, yep, thanks for staying with us, guys, and
Bye.
we'll meet you all next week.
Yep. Hmm.